Hello, Math Analysis. We are going to be learning Chapter 5, Section 1 today, and it is more on graphs, so lots of new words today. So this part you'll have to do at home. If you take out your cell phone, I'd like you to download the app Untangle Me, and it's kind of a neat game for something we're learning in class. So play it for a little bit and then come back. All right, so now you're going to be on your packet page 1. So in the game Untangle Me, what they asked you to do was to try and move the vertices or the edges around so that no edges are intersecting. So for example, if you look at this problem right here, we have edges that are intersecting right here. So can you think of a way to redraw this figure so that none of those edges intersect? Obviously, there's several edges in this diagram that are intersecting. So put this on pause and check it out. All right, here is one example of what you could have done. You could have taken segment BR and stretched it to the outside. Now no edges intersect. Or you could have thought to push vertex I on the inside. Not many people think to do that. Normally I have like 1 out of 30 kids. Okay, how about this K5 graph right here? Can you untangle this? So you'll notice that I could take the yellow edge and pull it out, and I could take the green edge and pull it out, but I still have segment SD that I have to contend with that's in the way right now. And if I try and pull it out, notice that it overlaps with the outer edge of YN. So this graph is not possible to be untangled. All right, so this is our first new vocabulary word. A graph is said to be planar if you could redraw it on a flat surface so that no two edges intersect except at the vertex. And we know from our last chapter that any graph that can be drawn on a flat surface has a chromatic number at most. Very good. If you said 4, way to go. High five. All right, so now we have a problem for you to consider. There are 3 houses and 3 different types of utilities that need to be connected to each house. Your job is to connect each of the lines to the houses without intersecting the paths of any of the lines. Everything has to be done on the same plane, so you can't bury any of the lines or they can't be up in the sky. So check that out. Put this on pause, see if you could do it. And you should have found out that this was not possible. Okay, so that brings us to a new vocabulary word. It's called bipartite. And a graph is said to be bipartite if you can separate the vertices into 2 distinct sets so that no vertice from one group is attached to any other vertice in that group. Another way of saying this is it's bipartite if a graph has a chromatic number of 2. So here's some real life examples of what bipartite examples could be. You have M workers and N jobs, and every job needs one worker needs one job, and you have X men and Y women that want to get married, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's take a look at these graphs, and I want you to pick out your colors. Can you color these graphs with exactly 2 colors? If you can, they are said to be bipartite. If you cannot, they are not bipartite. Think about bi, it means 2 parts. You could separate the vertices into 2 parts. Okay, put this on pause and check it out. And did you get these for your answers? All right, so the first graph is not, the second one is, the third one is not, and the fourth one is. How about this graph? Can you color this with 2 colors? And you sure can. So every green is connected to a yellow, and every yellow is connected to a green. No green is connected to green, and no yellow is connected to yellow. All right, so turn to yourself and tell yourself, what does it mean to be bipartite? Remember, graphs with a chromatic number of 2, and the vertices can be separated into 2 distinct groups. Okay, try these 3 graphs right here. Are they bipartite? Can you color them with exactly 2 colors? Put this on pause. And here you go. Every single one of these is bipartite. Okay, that leads us to a new word that we're going to learn. It's called a complete bipartite. So for a graph to be a complete bipartite, that means that every yellow vertice must be connected to every blue vertice and vice versa. So take a look at these graphs and see if any of these graphs are complete bipartites. If they are, we name them with a capital K and then the number of vertices in each set. So here's our first one. It was missing edge FE, so it's not considered complete. The second one is every yellow is connected to the blue in the middle, and the blue is connected to every yellow, so we would name that a K14 or a K41. The one on the right's a little harder to do, but it is also a complete bipartite. If you look at it, every yellow is connected to every blue, and every blue is connected to every yellow. So that is a K33. All right, so examples again of complete bipartites. We have three vertices in one group that are connected to three vertices in a different group, or two vertices, whatever the case may be. So the guy on the left is a K23, the guy on the right is a K33. You could also call the guy on the right left a K32. All right, so if we wanted this bipartite to be complete, which edges would need to be drawn in? Take a minute to think about that and draw them in and check and see how you do. Did you say segment HA, segment NI, and segment DS? Very good. All right, so draw me a K33. Remember that would be three vertices in one group that are attached to three vertices in the other group. Think about our utilities problem. There you go, and I want to know, is this graph planar? Recall what it means to be planar, a graph that can be drawn on a flat surface so that no two edges intersect except at the vertices. Well, if you recall, the K33 is an example of the utilities problem, and it was not possible. So the K33 is not planar. Okay, draw me a K5. Remember that's five vertices, each connected to each other. Is it planar? And if you recall, we proved earlier, no, it is not. Okay, so the last new word we're going to learn is called a subgraph. If you have a graph built within a graph, it is called a subgraph. So here is a graph. I want you to find a K33 subgraph. So it'll be part of this graph. So you're looking for three vertices in one group, that could be one color, attached to three vertices in another group. And did you get this? All right, next one, can you find a K5 in here? So look closely for your K5, and I know actually the answer on this slide is wrong, so I am going to highlight it right here, right now for you. So I see your K5 right here, and then there, 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 there. So we will go past that slide because that one was wrong. All right, can you find a K33 in here? It's actually kind of hard to find in there, so take a look for it. So realize that the degree at each vertex must be at least 3. It could be bigger because this is a subgraph that's buried within a graph. And here is one example. Okay, name two graphs that are not planar. K33 and a K5, and if a graph contains a K33 or a K5, then we know that that whole graph is also not planar. So these are the new words from our section, and good luck with section 5.1 homework.